Historically, an evangelist was the highest-ranking minister in the Worldwide Church of God, now known as Grace Communion International under the Pastor General, Herbert W. The term evangelist is no longer used as a ministerial title in Grace Communion International, although denominations with roots in the organizations, such as the Living Church of God and the Philadelphia Church of God, use the term. With the exception of those ordained to the ministerial rank of evangelist while in the employ of the Worldwide Church of God, those who were once members of the WCG but were ordained as evangelists while members of WCG derivative denominations are not included. Below is a list of ministers ordained to the rank of evangelist in the Worldwide Church of God between 1952 and 1990. Was a minister of the Global Church of God around the time of his death in the late 1990s. Catch in 1988, CO host of The World Tomorrow from 1986 to 1994, author of Difficult Scriptures, professor of psychology for many years at Ambassador University. Catch during the 1988 Feast of Unleavened Bread, now operates Plain Truth Ministries and publishes The Plain Truth. Dr. David Antian, left the employ of the WCG in 1979, and for a while affiliated with the Church of God, International. In addition to his work in the ministry, is also a licensed psychologist and marriage counselor. Armstrong on December 20, 1952, died as the result of injuries sustained in an automobile crash near San Luis Obispo in 1958, is buried in the family plot at Mountain View Cemetery in Altadena, California. Stanley Bass, 1944 to 1998, second and last African American to be ordained as an evangelist, from 1990, was on the English faculty at Ambassador University in Big Sandy. As he had graduated from Paul Quinn College many years earlier, he was finally awarded a degree from Ambassador in 1997 at the institution's final spring commencement. Dean Blackwell, 1931 to 2003, died in 2003. Beginning in 1953, was the first pastor of the WCG congregation in Big Sandy, Texas, ordained evangelist, 1964, longtime pastor in the Chicago area, later a favorite professor of theology at Ambassador University, retired by WCG, 1996, remained with the Worldwide Church of God until his death, though retired at the time and working part-time at Dillard's department store in Longview, Texas. Carn Catherwood, Ambassador Class of 1961, leader of the Italian outreach of the WCG beginning in the early 1980s. Wayne Cole, 1930, Ambassador Class of 1954, disfellowshipped in 1979 during the receivership crisis. Has been affiliated with both the Church of God, International and the United Church of God. Now living in Tyler, Texas, he served as a fraternal delegate to the 2007 Convention of the Church of God, Seventh Day, in which his own family has roots. Armstrong on December 20, 1952, founded the Church of God, the Eternal, 1974 to 1975, as one of the original 6 students at Ambassador. He was a roommate of Herman L. Unlike many Ambassador students, he grew up in the Church of God, Seventh Day, the parent organization of the Worldwide Church of God. His break from the WCG in 1974 was largely due to doctrinal changes regarding Pentecost and divorce and remarriage. Robert Fahey, 1940 to 2015, Ambassador Class of 1965, ordained 1981, now affiliated with the United Church of God. Catch in the fall of 1990, just prior to the Feast of Tabernacles, authored The Liberation of the Worldwide Church of God in 2001, remains affiliated with the Worldwide Church of God. David John Hill, 1930 to 2003, Ambassador Class of 1955, authored How to Study the Bible and Read the Book, contributed to 20th Century Watch in the 1980s. Armstrong on December 20, 1952, is buried in Altadena, California. Noted church historian, his 2 doctoral dissertations laid the foundation for views on world history held by many in the church. Retired by WCG, 1996, served on Ambassador University Board until its closure in 1997, served on Church Board until his death. Catch in 1988, CO host of The World Tomorrow from 1986 to 1994, disfellowshipped by Joseph W. Catch in 1995, helped found the United Church of God and later the Church of God, an international community, prolific author, currently publishes Vision magazine. Charles Freeman Hunting, 1919 to 2011 Ambassador Class of 1961, disfellowshipped, c. Jackson Hall of Humanities on the Big Sandy, Texas campus of Ambassador was named in his memory. Kelly, 1938 ordained in 1976, CO host of The World Tomorrow from 1988 until 1994 now retired from the Worldwide Church of God. Ellis LaRavia, 1931 Vice President, Ambassador International Cultural Foundation, ordained evangelist in Tucson, 1979, now affiliated with the United Church of God. Dennis Luker, 1937 to 2013, pastor, Garden Grove, CAWCG, mid-1980s, UCG Council of Elders, 1995 to 2001, pastor, Seattle UCG, c. Burke McNair, one-time pastor of WCG congregation in Big Sandy, now with United Church of God. Meredith in the Global Church of God and later the Living Church of God, later operated an independent Church of God ministry. Leslie McCullough, Ambassador Class of 1961, twice served as Deputy Chancellor of Ambassador University in Big Sandy, currently affiliated with the Church of God Worldwide Association. Following heated exchange in December 1992, founded the Global Church of God and later the Living Church of God. In terms of seniority of ordination, regardless of current denominational affiliation, Dr. Meredith has the most longevity and seniority in terms of ordination. Leroy Neff, 1923 to 2014, Ambassador Class of 1959, longtime treasurer in the WCG. Armstrong in Tucson, Arizona, in 1979, author of Against the Gates of Hell and Unpublished Law and Liberty, died in 2002, is buried in Altadena, California. Although he faded from public view after 1981, he remained a member of the church. Meredith and the Global Church of God, and with the United Church of God, now with the Church of God Worldwide. Catch in the fall of 1990, just prior to the Feast of Tabernacles at one time was an assistant to Stanley R. Armstrong in 1979, elevated to the office of Pastor General in 1986, is buried in Altadena, California. Dr. Joseph Catch Jr. Catch in the fall of 1990, just prior to the Feast of Tabernacles, elevated to the office of Pastor General in 1995, author of Transformed by Truth. Leon Walker, longtime director of Spanish work, later with United Church of God. Catch in 1988, disfellowshipped in 1995, president of Ambassador University from 1987 to 1995, his original appointment as president in 1978 was overruled by Herbert W. Waterhouse changed affiliations as well to stay loyal to what he believed was right. Kenneth Westby, 1939, disfellowshipped, 1974, founded Associated Churches of God, now known as Association for Christian Development. Dean Wilson, Ambassador Class of 1962, leader of the WCG in Canada, affiliated with the United Church of God, now deceased. Catch in the fall of 1990 just prior to the Feast of Tabernacles his original profession was chiropractic. http://hwarmstrong.com/worldwide-church-of-god-death-notices.html/wordwidehybridchurch-of-god-death-notices.html/480/westby.html http:// hwarmstrong.com/worldwide-church-of-god-death-notices.htm